Hey everybody, it's Jerry K again. I just want to talk to everybody real quick about developing new habits. You know, all developing new habits is a form of conditioning. It is conditioning yourself to do something different than what you normally do. If it's really windy right now, I'm really sorry. So on my walks, I started coming down to our lake and I would feed the turtles, bring some bread, grapes, just whatever we had that was a little extra. So I would come down here and I would feed the turtles. Well, when I would do that, I actually started doing something kind of, I don't know if everybody's familiar with Pavlov and the Pavlov dogs. So there was a doctor named Pavlov that basically what he did is he did this as an experiment. He would feed dogs, and after he would feed them, he fed them after a certain amount of time, and then he started ringing a bell right before he would feed them. And eventually the dogs learned to associate the ringing of the bell with the fact that they were going to receive food. Well, when a dog actually knows it's going to be getting food, it will start to salivate. It's part of the actual digestive process and the whole thing. So it got to the point where he could ring the bell and not give the dogs food, but they would still salivate. So basically he had reconditioned their brain with a trigger, the trigger or the indicator being the ringing of the bell, and then they would come and be ready to eat. They would salivate and they were ready to eat even though there was no food present whatsoever. So he basically changed the hardwiring of their mind. That's all developing new habits is. It's taking what you normally do, altering that, changing that slightly, okay? So I want to show you something, because when I would come out here, I actually started doing basically signals. Before I would start to feed the turtles, I would stomp my foot on the bridge in a rhythmic pattern. And as a result of that, the turtles would start to come. And they started to associate getting fed and me throwing down the bread and the other stuff with that beat. Now, ironically enough, one of the alligators that is in this lake also started coming over here. I did not feed him because it's not good to feed alligators. They become desensitized to humans and they see humans as a food source, which is not a good thing for them to see us as. But I wanted to do an experiment with you guys today, and I am going to do the rhythmic stomping that I do, and I want to see if it brings the alligator over here, because I don't have any food for him, and a lot of times he'll come from halfway across the lake just to come over here, and then he just stops and parks right here. So I'm bringing you guys along with me for this experiment. I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're going to see what happens, okay? So here we go. Okay, so let's see if I can call any of my little friends. There's already some fish. Let's see. Now remember, this is about conditioning. I started doing this when I would feed the turtles, and they came. Oh, and funny. And look who's showing up now. Looky who's showing up. It's my buddy Chomper. That's what I call him. It's not like his name or anything. But this is pretty cool. All I did was created something to respond to. So what this tells you is that, hey buddy, how you doing? And he'll come and just stop and just hang out. Doesn't expect anything. Sometimes he'll swim away. But it's conditioning. So what this actually tells us is that we can recondition ourselves, okay? We can condition ourselves to break bad habits or create new ones. And that's all this was a display of, is that by simply doing something that creates almost like an activation point for ourselves, we can do anything with our lives. We can change it any way we want. So this is just a little example of that. Chomper, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate you demonstrating my point. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll see you soon. Get those steps in, drink plenty of water, and it's never too late to change some of your own habits.